Well, hello, everyone. Make sure that my mic check is here. Hello, everyone. I am super excited to be here. You guys, I am live today. Let me just make sure that my sound is in check, make sure that you can hear me properly. Yes. Okay. Awesome. I am super excited to be with you all today. I am live. Can't believe I am live. You guys, if you follow me, you know that I don't really go live, but today I just had to jump on and share some valuable information. A lot of you have been reaching out to me in regards to you know how is it that you can start an Airbnb business, how that you can be profitable, how that you can get these landlords and apartment complexes, right? Because that's a big thing to say yes. So I'm super excited about today's workshop. I have a lot of value to share today. And so I encourage you to go and grab those pens, grab those notepads, your iPads, your phones, not for distraction, okay? Not for Instagram and not for any other YouTube videos today, or at least for this hour that we're going to be on, because I want you to be able to take notes because I'm going to be sharing a lot of value, okay? And some of this information, you guys, is in my exclusive course, Sum Off, okay? So definitely take notes. So I'm super excited to be here. Listen, if you are, let me share my screen for a second. I want you to introduce yourself, right? I want you to share where you are from, okay? I want you to share where you are from and type the number 8 if you are new here, okay? So if you are new here, I want you to share where you are from and type the number 8. Okay, so again, if you can see my screen, let me know that you can see my screen. Moderator over there, you can see my screen. Okay. All right, so comment where you are from. I don't even think I can see these comments. Okay, can't see your comments. Let me see. Give me one moment, guys. I'm trying to get these technicalities here together. Okay. So share where you are from. Can you see the comments? I can't see the comments over here. I can't see it on my side. I guess I need to. One moment. Let me see. Okay, I can see the comments now. All right, thanks for your patience, y'all. Okay, all right, Miss Tasha, I see that you're from Charlotte, North Carolina. That is a great market. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. Let me go back to sharing my screen. Share. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. So you are from North Carolina. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's get right into it, okay? I don't want to lollygag too much because I have a lot to share and I want to be able to go through this in about maybe 30, 40 minutes, okay? The max, all right? So first things first, I wanted to jump into what to expect, all right? What you should take away from today's workshop, from today's webinar, all right? Lots. Okay, I see somebody is here from Florida. Hello, hello to you. What part of Florida are you from? Jemmy, is that how you say your name? What part of Florida are you from? Let me know. Florida is also a good market. I mean, everybody is going to Florida. Everybody loves Florida. I mean, the weather is nice. That's a great market as well. Um, Broward. I've actually never heard of that town before. Um, but anyway, so I want to share with you guys. Here are some of the things that you're going to learn today, right? Some of the takeaways. Number one, you're going to learn 5 key steps, right, to setting up an official business so that landlords and apartment complexes will be willing to work with you. All right. This is a huge thing. I see that a lot of people, they go, other routes, and it's harder for landlords and apartments to trust you to say, hey, you know what? You seem reputable. I want to work with you. So we're going to go into that today. Another thing that we're going to talk about is how and where to find the right properties suitable for Airbnb and other short-term rental platforms. Because remember, right? Remember that when it comes to the short-term rental space, right? Airbnb is not the only platform. Airbnb is a major platform, is one of the biggest ones, or well known, right? I should say. And a lot of people tend to go to that, right? Which is great. But there are also other platforms that you can utilize, right? In this space, in this business, it's all about optimizing, right? It's all about optimization. So Airbnb is one platform, you guys, but there are so many other platforms that you can use. So we're going to talk about that today. How and where to find the right property suitable for Airbnb. And if you're just joining, listen, make sure that you have your pens, your pen, your paper, your notepad, whatever is going to take for you to take these notes today. Because like I said before, I have some value to share with you all. Okay. All right. Let me just go here and record. All right. Another thing that we're going to learn today is the best way to reach out to landlords, okay? Landlords, property managers, and apartments, okay? That's a big thing. And exactly what to say to landlords and apartment complexes to get them to say yes to your partnership, all right? Also, how to use business credit, or OPM as we put it, right? Other people's money, to start and scale your Airbnb and short-term rental business, and how to determine if a location will be profitable. Okay. Also, another thing that we're going to be talking about today is how to be hands off with your business, and how to run it in multiple states, right? So you can live in one state, but you'll be able to run an Airbnb, or several Airbnbs in other states as well, or a country. Okay. I've had listings before in Mexico at one point, right? So it is possible. Okay. So we're going to talk about all of that today. A lot of value, a lot of information. All right. If you are ready, type in ready in the chat box so that I know that you are ready to take some notes, okay, and to get some value in today's webinar. Okay. All right. So, who am I and why am I here? Okay. So, first things first, if you are new to my channel and you don't know who I am, my name is Shanice Bryant, aka Shy Bivia. Yes, actually, one of my names. Okay. And um, I actually am here because a lot of you have reached out to me, in regards to starting an Airbnb business, how to really start, how to really get those yeses. And so I really wanted to put together a value packed webinar, right? That can really help you guys go out there and take action, right? I've done it before. I've made passive income monthly on Airbnb, right? As well as I'm still doing it, okay? I'm still doing it and I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about passive income, okay? If there's anybody that loves passive income, that will be me. All right, so I'm here to share how you can also do it as well, how you can really go out there and execute and start your journey today. So I personally started my journey right back in 2018. Okay. Okay. I see you, Tasha. You are ready. Yes. Awesome. So I started my journey back in 2018, right? On an air mattress, literally in a spare room. Okay. So I'm telling you, sometimes we overthink things and we literally just need to start. Okay. You literally just need to start where you are and start with what you have. And I preach that all the time. Okay. Things don't have to be the most perfect situation for you to start anything. All right. So you want to, um, no, back to what I was saying. So I started my journey back in 2018, right? Literally on an air mattress. That's how I started. Um, I think I shared some time ago like a screenshot of like one of my first reviews. I wish I had it on here. How, one of my guests, like literally the air mattress popped at one point. But I mean, even though I had an air mattress, I did make it explicit though, in my listing, I was like, hey, this is an air mattress and whichever. And I was still getting bookings, you guys. Okay. And this was just in 2018. This was not, so long ago. Right. And people were still booking me. I was still getting 5-star reviews. One time the air mattress popped though, and that was another situation. But the guest was still really sweet and still left me a great review, right? And that's basically how I started my journey. If you got a copy of my book, right, you may see that story in there because I shared that story a little bit in the book, right? The B&B Boss Basics, just in case you have not gotten the copy of the book yet, but I shared a little bit of that story, right? Also, I've had listings. I've had listings in multiple I've had listings in multiple states before and ran 80% of my business on autopilot while traveling. Okay. And like I said before, if anybody loves passive income, that will be me. Okay. Um, so I've been able to travel and had multiple listings in different states and still be able to run a successful business, right? And that's what I want to get into today. I'm going to go right into that today in today's webinar, how it is that you can also run your business on autopilot. All right. Now, I've also been able to generate passive income every single month, right? Every single month using proven strategies. Like since I've started, it never fails every single month. Okay. And I've also been, you know what, let me go back. So backstory, when I started in 2018, right, my spare room, I did it for a while and I decided to stop, right? And then a few years after that is when I really decided to take it seriously. So I wasn't taking it seriously back in 2018. Back in 2018, I thought, oh, I had to own a home and do all of, I didn't know that, okay, I could actually make an actual business out of this and even use property that I did not own, right? So that's another thing I want you guys to keep in mind as well, is that you don't have to use properties that you own only, okay? And also I've been able to maintain superhost status consecutively, okay? Consecutively, which enables me to optimize my listings as well. And once we get into the webinar, I'm going to share some tips, right, that can have you on the top, right, and to maintain that superhost status to optimize your listings, right? And now today, I help others on their journey in earning passive income using Airbnb and also other short-term platforms, right? And so I am passionate about this, you guys, because like I said, I've been doing it and I just like the extra money that it gives, okay? So that's a little bit about me. So first things first, I want to debunk some myths, right? Right? Real quick. Now, a lot of people say that number one, the market is oversaturated, right? That's one thing that a lot of people say, right? Usually they like to say, hey, the market is oversaturated. If I go in, I won't get any bookings at all, and all of that. Then sometimes people like to say there are no apartments that will actually say yes to my business model, or there are no landlords that's going to allow me to use their property and put it on Airbnb. Then I've also heard people say they can't go outside of their home market to start this business, okay? First things first, you guys, let me just say this, right? In regards to the market being oversaturated, I think the reason why people believe that the market is oversaturated is because they're only focusing on markets that are really big, within tourism, or is just like big cities that are very popular that everybody's just flocking to. I'm going to give you some examples right now. For example, Atlanta and Houston and possibly Miami, like those markets, like a lot of people are flocking there, right? And I want you guys to use your brains and to use your creativity. Let me say that. That's probably a better word, right? I want you guys to use your creativity when it comes on to this business. So, if you're interested in a particular state, or let's say you're interested in one of those states or cities that a lot of people are flocking to, right? You can actually go to the outskirts of those areas. You don't have to go in the dead center of Atlanta, okay? Because everybody's there, right? You can go 15, 20 minutes out side of Atlanta and still get bookings. You have to understand as well, and I preach this, right? I tell my students this all the time, that people travel for all types of different reasons. All types of different reasons. People may be traveling because they have a wedding to go to, they have a funeral to go to, they have a graduation event. They're just going to see family. Okay. We've had people visit our listings just because they're helping somebody move, right? We've had people visit from all the way from Hawaii, from Argentina, from just, different parts of the United States, different parts of the world, for all types of different reasons. So you have to understand that people aren't traveling just for a vacation, right? So your listing don't have to be on the beach. Okay, take it from me. Your listing it does not have to be on the beach. It can be in a small town. And I'm telling you, you will be surprised of the response that you will get, okay? Because like I said, take it from me, I'm an avid traveler, all right? I meet people from all walks of life, all over the world, and they travel. You'll be surprised at the reasons as to why people are traveling, okay? And especially today, a lot more people are traveling. If just in case you didn't see this, right? I have right here this screenshot. This was something that the CEO of Airbnb um, shared last year, right? He says that they will need millions more hosts, okay? Millions of hosts to meet surging demand, all right? Why is there a surging demand? There's a surging demand because we were locked up for 2 years. Okay, that's just the truth, plain and simple. Like, we were locked up for 2 years, right, and weren't able to travel and all of that. Now people are trying to fulfill their travel desires and all of that good stuff, right? People are trying to travel more now. In addition to that, number two, okay, another reason why a lot of people are traveling more today is because I don't know if you heard the news, just in case you missed the news, but there are millions of Americans that quit their job last year. And thousands more are still quitting every single day and this year. I don't they showed something on I think it was 60 minutes or something like that, and it's just really crazy how, a lot of people are just realizing that, and I believe it was COVID too. During COVID-19, a lot of people realized that, I actually like being at home. I actually like waking up next to my husband and my dog and my children and going for walks by the park and, just taking the day slowly. People started to realize that they like that life. Okay. And so that's why a lot of Americans have been quitting their 9 to 5 jobs. They got tired of working for, people and for their bosses that don't really like them anyway. Right. So that's another reason why there's a surging demand for travel right now. And that's why there's a lot more hosts are needed. Okay. And that's where you come in. All right. And to debunk the myth that there are no apartments that will say yes to your business, that is absolutely not true. I'm telling you right now. I've had built great relationships with apartment complexes, and I know apartment complexes and property managers that actually accept the business model. They accept it for what it is, they understand what it is, and even in the lease, right, it states that, it's allowed, and whichever, and they'll have their own addendum. You can have your own addendum, lease addendum as well, if they don't have theirs, and we will kind of get into that in just a little bit, right? But there are apartments or property managers or landlords that will accept the business model, because the truth is, some landlords, right, I've come across landlords before who have told us straight up that I don't really care, if it's on Airbnb or not. I just want to make sure that this property is taken care of. The property is going to be taken care of, and we're going to get our rent on time, right? You just have to find them. Okay. And the third myth, okay, and this is just three of many, right? But some people say that they can't go outside of their home market to start this business, and you absolutely can. You may live in a state, right, or a city that, they're not really open arms with Airbnb, and that's just the truth. That's just how it is for some cities and for some markets. Some markets are a lot stricter than or a lot strict than some, right? So for example, like Austin, I believe you have to have like some type of license to do it, right? You just kind of have to follow the procedure. Philadelphia now is becoming a little bit, they're coming down a lot with Airbnb listings, and you kind of have to just apply for your license as long as you're following the city guidelines and all of that. But if you feel like it's too much and it's not so feasible in your city or your state, you can absolutely go out into another market. You do not have to do it where you live. All right. So I want you to keep that in mind. Again, this business is all about creativity. Any business, any business at all, is about creativity, right? You have to do what works for you, and basically what market is best for you as well, right? So another thing I wanted to share, let's talk about some success stories, right? So like I said before, some people say that it's not possible to start this business, or to get landlords or apartments to say yes. I want to share this success story. One of my students recently, right, she she was able to get 2 units. She signed 2 leases, right, in 1 week. And I believe she also went on to sign like a third or something, right? Within like just a couple of months. And with these apartments, they allow Airbnb 100%. They straight up allow it, open arms, no gimmicks, no hide and seek. It is written, and the lease and addendum and all of that good stuff, right? And so one of the things with this business, right, and I'll tell you this, you guys, from experience, all right, because I'm all about being as authentic as possible, right? I'm about authenticity, right? And sometimes it can be hard, yes, to be authentic. It's just human nature, right? Because we don't really want to sometimes share our failures, right? We don't want to share our failures. We just really want to share the success. But the reason why I'm stressing this in regards to truly getting the yes and getting permission to do Airbnb, because it's the worst thing, okay? I can't tell you how disappointing it can be for you to get an apartment, you think that you're good to go, and you can, put it on Airbnb and whatever other platforms, right? And the apartment complex property manager, whosoever, comes back to you and say, hey, this is not allowed, you can't do this, right? And you have to take it off of Airbnb, otherwise you're going to get a lease violation notice. Okay, can I tell you that I've had that happen to me one time, and I'm telling you right now that that will never happen to me again. Okay, that happened to me one time, and that will never happen to me again. Okay, from that day forward, I decided, you know what, if it's not written in the lease and it's not, 100% that, okay, I can do this, okay, I can have my, travel people and guests come in and out of the unit, and this is what it is, this is my business model, I'm not doing it. Okay, and that was the worst thing. I was so disappointed because I put so much effort into that apartment, right? Decorated it, all of that good stuff. You know how it is, right? And we had it listed for a few months. It was being booked all the time. People loved it. We loved it. I loved going there too, right? And guess what? It was not, at the end of the day, it was really not um Airbnb friendly or really allowed, and we had to take it down, and we decided to just break the lease early, and that cost extra money. Okay, thankfully I didn't spend a whole lot of money like furnishing the place. Okay, and that's another thing too. I can be a talker, so I'm going to try to stay on track, but that's another thing too. You don't need a whole lot of money to start this business, and don't think that you have to go out there and get a whole bunch of um new furniture and exotic stuff. It really all depends on what you want to do, your level of your decoration style, or what you're really going for. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to. You can literally go on Facebook Marketplace and get some really good secondhand stuff. You can go to the thrift store. Don't be afraid of the thrift store, okay? I can tell you that I've found some really, really good stuff, from the thrift store. But anyway, back to where I was going with this. um it was really disappointing to know that I put so much effort and so much work into getting the apartment set up, to then had to exit, right? So that's what I don't want for you. And so that's why you want to do it the right way. Okay, you don't want anybody kicking you out, and getting a lease violation notice or getting evicted is one of the worst things that goes on your credit, right? So you don't want that. All right. So I want you guys to be able to do it the right way. So it is possible, okay, to find landlords who are literally desperate. Okay. You can call them tired landlords. Okay. They're desperate. They just want to rent their places out. They are out there. And you do have property management companies and apartment complex companies that are used to the business model, and they are ready to say yes to you. So this is one success story that I just wanted to share with you, to show you that it is possible, and it's possible for you, right? Now, let's talk about what we're going to, well, we already talked about what we're going to learn, right? We're going to talk about the first thing, right? So let's go into 5 key steps to setting up an actual business so that landlords and property managers will be willing to work with you. That's a big thing. You want to set up an official business. First things first, let's talk about this. I believe that everybody should have a business. If you have a side hustle going on, your side hustle is doing well, I believe that you should form that into an actual business, especially if you've been doing it for a while and hey, I'm kind of digging this thing. I'm kind of digging this side hustle. I like this extra money that I'm making. You're used to it. You know that it works for you. I believe that you should set up an actual business for that, right? Because the IRS says over maybe 400 times of what you can write off, right, with a business. Not only that, but just having a business is just so beneficial, right? There's grants that you can get. There's all these things. You can build business credit and leverage and use other, people's money. Just having your own thing. There's nothing like having your own thing and just having an official business, something that you built, something for you. You never know what can happen, right? With that 9 to 5 job. We've seen it over the past few years. People thought that their jobs were secure, but what was it really secure though? Right? Was it really secure? So I believe that everybody should have an actual business, right? So we're going to talk about setting up an actual business for this business in particular, for your short-term rental or Airbnb business, if you want to call it that, right? I don't really like to say Airbnb business, but I do because, a lot of people refer to it as Airbnb, but I like to really refer to it as a short-term rental business because, again, there are so many different platforms out there that you can use, right? So, number one is to set up an LLC, right? Or business entity. It does not have to be a limited liability company. That, really helps with separating your personal assets from your business, from your business assets, in case of lawsuits and stuff like that, right? But whatever business entity works for you, you can set that up. You can literally go to irs.gov, right? Do it yourself. You can go to LegalZoom. You can go to InkFile, right? InkFile is a great platform to use. I like InkFile because they also offer to do it for you for free. The only thing that you'll be paying for is whatever the state's fee is. So if the state's filing fee is $50, that's what InkFile will charge you. So InkFile is pretty good. If you're looking for a frugal way to set up your business, definitely check them out, right? So that's one of the first things that you're going to do. But with this, I know this may sound a little bit weird, but you're going to get a virtual address, right? If you have a home address. So if you don't have, let's say, a brick and mortar business already, right? Like an actual office or something, you can get a virtual business address. Okay. And in our previous video, I shared what are some of the recommended virtual address companies. And the reason why I stated those specific virtual address companies, like for example, Regus, is because those virtual addresses show up as an actual business address and not as a post office box. All right. And I'm putting emphasis on that, you guys, because you're going to find out that when it comes to like applying for business credit and stuff like that, you may have issues if it's showing up as an a PO box address, right? So there are some virtual address companies, for example, iPostal, right? I've had issues with iPostal before, as well as other people, because it shows up as like a PO box address, and that's not what you want. So you want to check out other virtual office companies, like I said, Regus. Then you're gonna get your EIN number, right? That's your employer identification number. That's super easy to get. If you are on this live or if you're on this webinar or workshop, you may know what an EIN number is. You may already have one. You may know how to get that. But just in case, right? If you are new here, just in case you may not know what this is or how you can get that, you can literally go to irs.gov, right? You can just go to irs.gov and go to apply for EIN number and just apply for it. Keep in mind of the time, you can't do it on the weekends. It has to be Mondays through Fridays from I think 7 a.m. Eastern to about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's it. You can't apply out of those hours, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. Third thing that you want to get your DUNS number, okay? And a lot of you have actually asked me what this is before on some of my previous videos, right? And your DUNS stands for your Data Universal Numbering System. Right now, what this does is it verifies your business, okay? It verifies that your business exists globally, all right? And that is huge. Now, you're going to find out, right, that you're going to need a DUNS number when you're applying for apartments, when you're applying for business credit, and all of those things, right? They're going to want your DUNS number. That's how, again, they verify the existence of your business globally. And with your DUNS number, that's how you're going to generate your business credit score called your paydex score, right? So you need a DUNS number if you plan on having a business. Okay, so treat your DUNS number like your EIN number. Every business have to have an EIN number. You can't open a business bank account, okay, without an EIN number. And that's another thing too that you want to make sure that you're doing when you're setting up your business. I do have an actual guide. You may have gotten it already. I know a lot of you guys have gotten that guide, right? That watch my channel. But just in case you have not gotten the guide yet, you can get the guide. I'm gonna have my moderator put the link to where you can grab and download the guide. And now this guide is a step-by-step guide, right, of how you can form an actual business, right? These are key steps that I have here on the screen. But you guys, that guide goes literally in depth so much. It's literally everything that you need to know. You literally don't need anything else. You have that guide and you'll be able to literally have an official business up and running, build business credit in less than 60 days. It has dozens of creditors, net 30 accounts, and trade lines that you can apply for. And in addition to that, what I also added was commercial companies, right? So there are commercial lenders. So if a lot of you guys are looking to get that vehicle, right, in your business name. So if you have a business or you just want a vehicle, right, in your business name, you can use that guide. It talks about the different lenders that offer as well no personal guarantee auto loans as well, and what some of their requirements are. So that guide is very in-depth, you guys. So I definitely strongly recommend go grabbing that if you have not gotten that as yet. All right, but like I said, this simple 5 step-by-step guide will also help you to stand out and have property managers reach out to you. So this is to start, right? So that you're not having analysis paralysis and being like, oh my gosh, I have to do all these things. Okay, I have to do all these things to set up a business. Just focus on the little things, okay? Take it a step at a time, all right? Another thing that you want to do is purchase your domain and get a professional email address. Now you can purchase a domain from Google. Literally, you can purchase your domain from Google, right? You can also you can use Dinodot. There's a company called Dinodot. They're pretty cheap as well. They're cheaper than companies like Bluehost, right? You can use Bluehost as well to buy your domain. And the reason why you want to buy your domain is just so that you can have like a professional email address, right? For example, instead of having your name, okay, let me see. Let me just pick from somebody's name here. That is loud. Who is that outside? Larry Davis, right? So instead of saying Larry Davis at gmail.com, okay, or Larry Davis 1, Larry Davis the third at gmail.com, right? Instead, you're going to say info at larrydavis.com or info at larrydavis.org or something like that, or info at your company's name.org or .com or whichever you want, right? Those are usually good formats, a better format to use as it relates to setting up a professional business email. And so that way, when you're emailing these, reaching out to these property management companies, which we're going to get right into, so you want to make sure that you hang in there tight, okay? Go grab your tea, go grab your kombucha, whatever it is that you need to stay on this webinar, okay? Hang in there with me, right? Because we're going to go into what are some of the things that you can actually say to these landlords and to these property management companies that will get them to say yes. All right. So you want to make sure that you're communicating from a professional email address. Okay. And besides, you want to separate your email, your personal email address from your business email address, right? Nobody wants everything all over the place. And besides, we get so many spammy and, promo emails every single day. I don't know about you guys, but I do. Okay. Even when I feel like I unsubscribe, they still send me emails, right? But you don't want to miss the important emails because you have everything going to one email. Okay. Another thing that you want to do is set up a landing page, a simple 1-page landing page. Okay. Let me show you something real quick. I think I have time. Oh, we've been on this live for a second. Let me show you something real quick of how you can set up a one-page landing page, okay? If you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? No. Okay. I'll show you real quick how you can set up a one-page landing page. This is super easy to do. You can, first of all, you can just get a Wix, a Wix profile, right? So you can get a Wix profile. Let's see. I'm actually showing you guys a lot here. So let's see. I'm going to share it. So you can, first of all, you can go to places like MailChimp, right? You can go to MailChimp.com or ConvertKit or something like that. If you don't want to use like Wix, or you can use WordPress, right? You can use WordPress with Bluehost combined together, and you can literally get a simple one page landing page, right? I like to use MailChimp, for example. I'm going to show you real quick of how to do that. Create. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen. It's not sharing that screen. Okay. Okay, it won't let me be great today. And let's see. I can't see this. Let me just go back to this. Okay. Let's just go back to this because it's not letting me be great today. Okay. Okay. Can we see the screen now? It's being weird. Okay, it's not letting me be great. I wanted to show you guys exactly how you can create a landing page using like MailChimp, right? I like to use MailChimp. Some of you guys may have got my email. You've seen that I like to use MailChimp as well. You can also use ConvertKit and literally create a one-page landing page. Very easy to set up, right? And a simple business one-page website, if you will, as well, using Wix or, like I said, Bluehost, right? Just simple, you guys. Keep it simple. There's nothing crazy that you have to do here. All right. You just want to stand out. So just in case they need your website to look at maybe your portfolio or something, some of the pictures of what you have on, will this be saved? We'll get to the questions later. This may be saved. Yes, this video may be saved that you can, so that way you can go back and watch it later. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about finding. All right. Let me just make this screen bigger. It's not where I want it to be actually. Okay, let's see. To make this, okay, zoom. There we go. I don't know if you all can see me. Trying to just get my screen back here. Okay, there we go, but I need it to be. Okay, there we go. So, all right, so we're gonna talk about finding the right properties for Airbnb and other short-term rental platforms, okay? How is it that you find the right properties for Airbnb and other short-term rental properties? right? So there's different ways that you can do this. For one, you can go to a platform called Hot Pads, right? I don't even want to go out of this screen again because I feel like if I do, okay, so let's type in Hot Pads. Actually, I have it up right here already. So this is one platform that you can use if you can see my screen here, right? So for example, Austin, Texas, all right? Austin, Texas. I'm gonna show you guys a really quick way of how would they look at your portfolio here? Into this. That is a great question. How would they look at your portfolio if they are new to this? And I'm going to get to questions after. So one of the things that we like to do, so I do in my course, in my group, my exclusive membership, is that we share, right? We can share like each other's portfolio. So if somebody has a listing up and they're okay with sharing with somebody else, like, hey, a part, and so that they can add it to their portfolio and they give them the permission to, then that's fine. So we do that as well, okay, in our group. So that's a great question. How will they know if you are new to this? And that's one of the perks and the benefits of being a part of a community, right? Being a part of a mentorship group, being a part of something. So that's one way that you can, have your portfolio, so to speak, right? Basically sharing what your other fellow partners or, fellow peers who are in that community. All right. So one of the things that you can do in order to find properties, a lot of people actually don't know about hot pads. Okay, so I'm sharing with you guys some little gem secrets right here. Okay, so hot pads is one platform that you can use to find properties, right? And let's say we're in San Antonio, Texas, right? You can literally just go to search for the amount of beds or, bed and bath that you want to, just like other platforms like Zillow and other platforms like that, right? And a lot of listings on hot pads are listed by the actual homeowners, right? There's some listings that are listed by apartments too, but there's a lot of them that are listed by homeowners. For example, this one, San Antonio, 4 bedrooms, 2 bath. Oh my gosh, I need this right now in my life. Only $1,300, $1,320 monthly for rent, right? And this is listed by the owner. Okay. Obviously, this has had a lot of contacts and stuff like that. But here you can just literally reach out to the owner. When usually check for availability means that you have to send them a message, but sometimes they want you to just apply right away for the apartment. Okay. And sometimes you can just send them a message and they'll reach back out to you. So HotPads is a great platform that you can use. Another platform, really easy, is Zillow, right? Do not sleep on Zillow. But here's how you use Zillow though. You're not just gonna go to Zillow, right? You're going to go to Zillow and you're going to type in a market that you may be interested in, right? Let's say that's Atlanta, right? Again, if you're just joining, don't be afraid to go on the outskirts. Okay, don't be afraid to go on the outskirts of major cities. Okay, you will still get the bookings. So when you go to Zillow, you go to for sale. So you're not going to for rent, you go to for sale by owner and by owner. Okay, that's key. Go to sale by owner. Because like I said before, there's a lot of tired landlords, and landlords, they just want to, sell their place by themselves. They don't want to have to deal with realtors and all that. But maybe you'll be the lifesaver, right? That comes in that say, hey, I'll rent your place for the price that you have listed. In addition to, who's giving me super chat over here? Mr. Larry Davis, thanks for your super chat. Is that what it is? Y'all, I do not go live, okay? This is my first time on live, but I am happy to be here sharing some gems with y'all. All right. So, what you're going to do is, so there are landlords that you're going to come in as a lifesaver, okay? They just want to have their places rent it out. So you can come in and say, hey, I'm willing to rent your place out for whatever you have on there. They said $1,300, fine. But listen, okay, if you agree to partner with me on this thing, I am willing to give you an additional $200 a month or an additional $150 a month or $100, whatever it is. Tell me what landlord is not going to even consider that, okay? Even if they say no in the end, tell me why they wouldn't consider it, especially if it's a market with a particular, like, cap rate or whichever, or that's usually rented for a particular price, right? Monthly. You can go to Rentometer as well. That's like a real estate investors use that platform, right? To see what that area is rented out for. So Rentometer, right? And let's say that area, the average rent for that area is, let's say, $1,400, right? And you come in and offer $1,600. Tell me why I'm gonna tell you no. Tell me why, right? And the reason why you're offering them $1,600, right? $200 over asking price is because you know that you can get that money back and some. Okay, you know that you can get that money back and some because you've already done your research. And I think we're going to go into that of how you can determine, okay, how you can determine if an area will be profitable. Okay, and that's when you will offer them over what they're asking. So this is how you can find properties, right? You can go to HotPads, go to your Zillow, go to for sale, okay, go to buy apartment, for sale by owner, and that's how you're gonna reach out to them, right? That's one way how you can do that. Okay. So I'm telling you, you guys, I am dropping gems with you here. All right. And I want you to definitely make sure that you are taking notes. All right. Make sure that you're taking notes. All right, let's go. Let's go to the next thing. All right. So listen, you guys, let's talk about exactly what to say. Okay. Okay, let's get into this. All right. So now we found out how we are going to. Somebody said, did it pause for everybody? Is it? Okay, it's still going. All right, great. Good. We're on track. Now, I just showed you how you can effectively reach out to, let's say, landlords, right? In regards to apartments, you can always go to apartments.com and you can find a list of apartments available and send them emails that way. I've learned though that when you just send them emails directly from the apartments.com website, sometimes it's not up to date. Sometimes the apartment complex don't get it. And it's better to just reach out directly to the apartments. There's a strategic way though. There's a specific way that I encourage my students to do it so that you're interacting and communicating directly with like the property manager, with like the corporate office. Okay, there's a strategic way to do that though. Okay, and that I go a little bit more in depth with that, like in my course and all of that, right? But I've showed you though how you can reach out, right? You can find your apartments, find your find the right properties for Airbnb and all of that. But let's talk about how you're going to reach out and what you're going to say. Let me tell you guys, I went back and forth with this, okay? But this, like I said, this is gems because this is straight out of my course. A little snippet, okay? I'm okay with that, right? But this will get you started to have conversation with these property managers, with these landlords and apartment complexes, exactly what to say, right? So this is what you're going to say to get the yes. All right. And I'm telling you, my students get the yes by utilizing this script. And this script is a lot more in depth. This is just an introduction of presenting yourself as a professional of what you're looking to do. Because like I said, you want them to know what you are doing from the get-go. If you're just joining and you probably didn't hear my story of what happened to me at one point, with one apartment, getting told that, hey, Airbnb is not, you can't do this, right? Basically, was heartbroken, right? Heartbroken. And I don't want this to happen for you as well. So from the get-go, they just need to know what it is that you're doing. It's either a yes or a no. Okay, you're either gonna get a yes or a no. It's like everything in life, anything in life, you ask for something, You're either going to get a yes or you are going to get a no. And so, what if you get a no, though? Okay, you move on to the next thing. All right. So, you're going to say, hey, my name is such and such. I'm the owner or CEO or representative and CEO of such and such company, which is a short term rental solutions company. And currently, we're looking for, we're looking to lease such and such amount of units, right? Um, to provide stay for to our traveling clients or professionals or whatever your niche is, traveling nurses. There's some areas that there's a lot of hospitals and a lot of people cater to travel nurses as well, right? And so, for example, if you plan on using other platforms outside of Airbnb like Furnished Finder is a great platform that you can rent to travel professionals and other contract workers on like monthly basis, typically like 60 days, 90 days at a time, right? Especially like in low seasons, it's great to utilize that. And you can say this and say, hey, our company is reputable for paying on time rent and maintaining our properties well. And, we're looking for an immediate move in. Are any of your properties available? Or are you offering any corporate leases at this time? Better yet said, boom. Like literally, like that's all you need to say in the beginning, right? Of course, if they may be hesitant, so they may know where you're getting at with this. They may be hesitant, right? But they may consider it because you come off as a professional. And then that's where you're going to get into the details to truly secure and solidify that deal, solidify that partnership. You're going to tell them all the great things about your company, what your company is doing, and how it will benefit them. You have to also think about the landlord, think about the property manager or the apartment complex. How will it benefit them as a business or as a person, right? And how will it benefit you as well? So you want to keep those things in mind when you're pitching to them. In my course has a full, like the full, script of how to truly get that partnership solidified, right? And to get them to say, you know what, we're ready to work with you, right? So that's what you can say to get the conversation going. All right. Now, let's talk about how you're going to use other people's money, right? Or OPM and business credit to scale your business. Because some of you, I know you're saying, okay, fine, I found an apartment. They said yes, all of this stuff. How do I now scale my business, right? How do I um, not only scale my business, I should say, but how do I start? Okay, where do I get the money from? For one, you can use your own money, right? You can use your own capital, right? That's one way how to do it. And for two, that is why we're going to go back to the reason why I said everybody should have a business set up. That's the reason why you wanted to go get your LLC, your EIN number that we talked about earlier, your DUNS number, all of that good stuff, your business bank account, all of that stuff. Okay, I've shared several videos before as well as to different ways, business credit that you can get or business funding that you can get and stuff like that. I also have a guide. If it's not already yet in the link, it should be in the link. Yes, it's in the link. And in that guide guides you step by step of how you can, start a business and build business credit. Like I said, dozens of other trade lines that you can actually use, right? To get funding, right? And that's why you want to have a business set up so that you can get funding, okay? Right? So you're going to have your business set up. You're going to apply for these net 30 accounts and whichever and other no personal guarantee accounts, as well as there may be some personal guarantee accounts as well if you choose to go that route, right? But you're going to do that, apply for those so that you can get some startup capital, okay? Get you some business credit so that you can fund your business and get your, furniture and stuff like that and, pay for the first rent or whatever, right? So that's why you want to set up an actual business so that you can use other people's money. Let me tell you something, okay? A lot of wealthy people in the world that you see, right? And a lot of people who have successful businesses, even if you want to look at Walmart, you want to look at Amazon, you want to look at Apple, do you think that they're funding their entire business just from the cash flow of their business, from their profit? Absolutely not. They have hundreds of trade lines, okay? Walmart, okay, I know for a fact, right, has hundreds of trade lines, okay? They use other people's money as well to fund their business, right? And so if those large companies that make millions can do it, why can't you do it? Right? And it's not a bad thing. Back in the day, years ago, people made it seem like, credit and debt was such a bad thing, but it's really not, right? It really depends on how you manage your debt, okay? You have good debt and you have bad debt, okay? Let's be real, right? So, for example, real estate is good debt, right? So, real estate is good debt, and there's other good debt, and you just have to know the difference and balance it and use it to your advantage and use it wisely. Okay, so that's how you're going to use other people's money to start your business and to scale your business. All right, now let's talk about how to determine the profitability of a location. How to determine if a business location is profitable. There's different ways that you can do this. So for one, let me see if I can go real quick and share my screen, because this thing does not want me to be great today, but we're gonna be great, okay? We're doing great and we're gonna continue to be great today. So how you can determine if an area is profitable? For one, you may have heard of this before, this platform, but that's called AirDNA. This is the first thing that you can do, right? You can go to AirDNA and literally just type in a city, okay? So I'm going to type in a random city. Okay, I'm typing in LA, okay? Let's see here. It wants me to sign in. Okay, this won't let me be great. Okay, so this is still loading for whatever reason, but you can literally go to ERDNA, right? And you can type in a city or wherever that you're interested in, right? And you type in the zip code and it will tell you what the average the average booking amount is. So the average daily amount, right? Nightly rate. It will also tell you the percentage, the booking capacity, which is very important. That's what you want to keep in mind, right? So for example, it may say 70%, 70% to 80% booking capacity, right? That's what you want to look for. Anything like over 70, 80%, right, to 90% booking capacity, that's what you want to look for. If it's saying booking capacity is like 50%, 55%, you may not want to consider that zip code area or that market, right? That means you won't be getting a lot of bookings. So that's why AirDNA is a great platform to use. You can also specifically search for like the type of bedroom. So let's say you want to start with one bedrooms, you'll be able to niche down and say, hey, what are one bedrooms going for in this particular area? And does this particular area has mostly one bedrooms or two bedrooms? AirDNA will tell you all of that. You can get a free account with AirDNA, but in order to unlock a lot of the things, it's good to have the paid account, but you can just start with the free account. It will tell you the general information. If you want specific like zip code information, um, like you want it very more tailored, then you may have to pay for an account. But you can just start with a free account to get an idea as to if this area will be profitable or not. You can also go to Airbnb itself, right? You can go to Airbnb itself or Mashville, 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 or Airbnb. And when I say Airbnb, right? When I say Airbnb, to go to Airbnb, what I mean is you're gonna go to Airbnb, right? And you're gonna search as if, let's see, because I like to share stuff. So let's see if this thing will allow me to share this screen because I'm just trying to share some gems with you guys today, but it's just acting as if it doesn't want me to. Okay, let me just stop the share for a second, and I'm going to go to Airbnb real quick, and then I'm going to show you one of the ways that you can see if an area is profitable, okay? All right, let's do this. Okay, anywhere. Okay, let's do Atlanta. I'm gonna search for Atlanta right now. And I'm gonna do June 8th to about June 11th to guess search. Okay. And now let me go back to sharing my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen, you guys? All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So you can actually use Airbnb itself to see if an area will be profitable. Okay, for example, this place here, this is Atlanta. Man, this home in Atlanta is like $232 a night. This is a two-bedroom, right? This person is probably a super host. Okay, this person's a super host. This is a cute place. I would stay here. But anyway, my ADHD is having me all over the place today, you guys. Okay, so this listing is doing really good. We can click on this listing to see. Okay, somebody said they've never thought about that. That's why I'm here, Mr. Davis. Okay, I am here to share all the gems with you. All right. So yes, I know not a lot of people have thought about this. I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth with this as well. Let me tell you guys are getting gems right now because these are some of the things that I teach in my course. My course goes a lot more in depth, okay, with hands-on stuff and whichever, but this is like, this will help you for sure. So for example, this place in Atlanta, they are a super host, and we're gonna click on it to see why they are a super host. All right. We ourselves, we have been super host consistently for consistently, right? And it's a beautiful thing because you get special treatment as a super host if you ever have to call Airbnb. Also, sometimes I remember before even knowing about Airbnb like that, like, oh, I can actually be a host on Airbnb. And what I would look for Airbnbs, I will literally only search for superhost. Okay. When I was looking for Airbnbs to stay somewhere, I would make sure that the place that I'm staying at, they're only superhost. Okay. Because you can filter. There are filters somewhere here that you can filter and search for just superhost, or search for if you want a place with a pool, or a place that has a blow dryer or air condition. You can filter your search. So for example, we're looking at this place here, which is really cute. You can see what their nightly rate is. You can see that they have 81 reviews. They're a superhost. They have 180 night. It's for $182 a night. Okay, that gives you an idea as well that, hey, I can price my listing at about this per night, right, for this area. Also, what you want to do is you want to go to reserve as if you're going to reserve the place, right? Sometimes it have it, sometimes it's not. I'm trying to find the calendar. I'm trying to check availability. Sometimes they have it up here, sometimes they don't. So for example, this says Pablo Place is usually booked. That means they are doing well in this area. Now let's go down to see how we can see. I'm telling you guys, I'm dropping gems for you guys you don't even know. I hope you're taking notes, okay? Now we're going to see how we can see the actual area that this Airbnb is listed in. So you go down there. Sometimes this may not be at the exact location. You only really get the location when you book a place. Okay. So for security reasons, if some of you are worried about that, people can't just see the address of your place unless they're actually a confirmed guest. But this gives you an idea of where this property is. For example, in Atlanta, I know some parts of Atlanta, but not in depth like that. But for example, you can see this is on a highway. This is by DeKalb Avenue. If you're familiar with the Atlanta market, you'll have an idea of where this is, right? This is by Sugar Creek over here. So you have an idea of what area of Atlanta this Airbnb is at, where this Airbnb is, and if it's doing great. So that's another area, another way of how you can, find out if an area is doing good. Okay. So let's go back so that I'm not going too in depth and off track here. All right. So those are some of the ways that you can find out if an area is doing good. You go to your AirDNA and see the average, right? And also, you want to think about what is the pricing for that area. So what are rents going for? What are houses going for in that area, right? And based on that information, then you're going to also take that information and say, hey, if I'm only booked. Oh, look at you, Larry. You are just dropping those super chats, huh? Shout out to you, Larry. So listen, you'll first, figure out, okay, what that market is, because you just go online, like you typically do anyway. If you're looking for a new place, go to apartments, go to Zillow, whichever, see what the pricing is for. And based on that, you're going to go to Airbnb and see the average of what price, people are pricing their listing for, right? Based on, one bedrooms, two bedrooms. Go to AirDNA as well. See if, hey, if I'm booked for 20 nights out of the month, because remember, you may not be booked for 30 nights out of the month. Let's be real. I have an actual breakdown of um your profit analysis, basically how to figure out if you're going to break even or make a profit based on the market and all of that, right? And my course goes a lot more in depth with that, but you can literally take that information, you guys, just figure out what the market is, what rents are going for, and what the average nightly rate is that you can charge. So if you can charge $200 a night, right? And you'll be at least booked for 20 nights. Two twos is what? Four? I don't know. That's 4,000, I'm assuming. 20, yes, three zeros, 4,000, right? That's $4,000 per month if you're being booked for 20 nights at $200 per night. That's $4,000. Okay, let's be real. You have to pay your rent. But let's say your rent is $1,000, right, per month. That means you're making $3,000 net profit, okay? And then I know you may be asking, okay, so what about other expenses, cleaning fees and stuff like that, right? I'm glad you asked, because actually guests pay the cleaning fee, right? You don't even pay the cleaning fee as a host. Did you know that? I don't know if you've ever booked an Airbnb before and it says cleaning fee, like literally, or guests pay our cleaning fee and our cleaners gets paid from whatever money the guests paid us for the cleaning fee. So cleaning is not even coming out of your profit, you guys, okay? And that's how profitable this business can be, all right? So that's something that you should definitely keep in mind. So that's how you can determine if your location is going to be profitable, all right? Let's go move on to the next thing. How to be hands off with your business. That's number one thing. Like I said before in the beginning, if there's anybody who loves listen, passive income, okay, and automation, it's a girl right here. It's me, okay? And let me tell you, there's nothing like being hands off in your business and just having that freedom and flexibility that you've always wanted. Okay. I don't like the idea of always having to be somewhere for something to happen. Okay. I don't like it. I'm not that girl. All right. It all depends on the situation, but for it to happen every day, I don't like that. I like to have things on automation, at least 80%. Okay. And we're going to go into how you can be hands off with your business and even run it in multiple states, you guys. All right. Now, one of the things that you want to consider in regards to Airbnb, who to hire, who do you want to hire, or who do you need to hire for in order for your business to be um profitable and successful, and so that you can sit back and just chill. Like literally right now we have cleaners cleaning, our Airbnbs. We have people checking in. And where am I? I'm over here. Okay. I'm over here. And there's people checking in other states. Okay. And I'm all the way over here, miles away, running a successful Airbnbs. Okay. I like that life. Now, if you want to, duplicate that, here are some of the people that you need to hire. You need to hire. You want to hire cleaners. Okay. Legit good cleaners. You can get cleaners from Angie's List. We found a phenomenal cleaner like during the beginning of our journey on Angie's List. Phenomenal. Okay. I literally wish I could have her everywhere. Okay, but I can't. Right? Another platform is Turnover BNB. Turnover BNB is known for Airbnb. So you can kind of like, it kind of syncs in a sense where they can see, whenever a guest books your place. So when they check out, so they basically kind of have your calendar in a sense. So Turnover BNB is good for that. Even if you choose not to use cleaners from Turnover BNB, because it can be a little bit tricky. You want to make sure that those cleaners are good. You don't want no cleaner that is just gonna do things halfway. Okay, because we've had some of those that we've had to just get rid of. Okay, like in a heartbeat. All right, you don't want those people. So some people may not choose to use Turnover BNB, but they do have reviews, so you can see if they are um you know uh good, like legit cleaners, right? But if you choose not to do that, you can have your cleaners from wherever else you find your cleaners sync to the Turnover BNB app. They can just basically, you can just invite them to the Turnover BNB app and they can be a part of it, just so that they can see have your calendar synced. Another thing that you definitely want a handyman. I can't tell you how many times we've had to call a handyman for something. The bed is squeaking, or the desk, is rocking all over the place, or this is happening, right? You need somebody that you can call up, at least a couple people. You want a backup cleaner as well. Let me just say that. You definitely want a backup cleaner just in case. And you want a couple handymen. You want to have their numbers, right? Saved. Hey, can you run out to such and such real quick to take care of this for me, please? Guests screw stuff up sometimes. And I can't tell you how many times we've had to have people, go out. And just little things, minor things happen, like a screw may fall out, things like that, right? You want to set up a security camera. This does not have to be expensive. You can go get a Ring door camera, which is phenomenal as well, right? Because it notifies you every time somebody's at your door, or whichever. That way you can just monitor the activity, everything that's happening. And if anything happens, you will have proof, okay? Whether to show to Airbnb, whether to show to the police, court, whatever it is, you have that proof. So that's why you want to have some type of security camera outside. You can't have it inside, but you can have it outside, right? So that you can see what's happening. Also, you want keyless entry, so you can get I talk about a lot of this in my book as well. Like I said, if you haven't grabbed a copy of my book, The B&B Boss Basics, that book goes really in depth. Like if you are a newbie to this, you have absolutely no idea what you're doing and the steps that you need, that book will help you as well, right? And I talk about the must-haves for your business, and this is one of them. You want keyless entry, and it's good to consider the ones that are Wi-Fi, that has Wi-Fi built in, so that way you can literally change the code lock for every single guest, like maybe use their last 4 digits of their phone number or something for every guest. That way you don't have the same code for every guest, right? You can have that too. You can start out with the simple ones with the buttons that you can send out to your guests, right? But it's also good to have those the Wi-Fi ones that you can lock at a certain time. You can lock literally if you're here in this state or this city, or you're on vacation in a whole new country, you can literally lock your lock or change the lock, change the number across the world. Okay, so you want to consider that. Also, you want to consider a property manager or co-host as your business grows. And the reason why I say as your business grows, because you don't really need a property manager in the beginning. You can. So for peace of mind, for your own peace of mind, right? You can have a property manager if you want to. But as your business grows, maybe once you start having like 5, 7, 10, a lot of properties, you may want to have property managers or co-host as well as your business grows. But when you have automations in place, which I'm going to get to in a second, right? Like I said before, I'm queen automation, right? When you have automations in place, you don't really need a co-host like that. Unless you really, really, really want to be 100% hands off with your business, then by all means, go get yourself a co-host. All right. They may charge maybe 20 to 25% of every booking or something like that. And go get yourself a property manager if it's going to give you peace of mind and you want to be completely hands off. But if you have some time, you have 70 to 80% time to manage your business, then you don't need a co-host. Set up automations, automate your messages, automate your pricing. Okay, did you know that you can actually automate your messages on Airbnb? And I'm not talking about using the Airbnb platform. I don't suggest using the Airbnb platform to automate anything. Do not use those prices on Airbnb, okay? They will have you losing money if you use the suggestions that Airbnb have, right? I'm talking about using third-party platforms that you can integrate and sync and automate your messaging. Okay, I talk about that. Like I said in my course, I show my students exactly how to have top-notch messaging back and forth with your guests. Let me tell you, my guests swear that we are like the most what's the word that I'm looking for? That we communicate so well, right? Because we have set up automated messaging for every stage of the booking stage, right? I literally don't really send out messages anymore unless it's for something specific. So when guests are checking in, to send them information about checking in, and once they book, thanking them for booking and whatever information that they need and stuff like that, to the day before they check out, to the day of checkout, to leaving a review for my guests, to let me tell you, it's the best thing since sliced bread. Okay, I literally don't really do anything anymore, and it's like one of the best things ever. So I know I know I'm like being a little bit, passionate right now, because I just love, like I said before, I love automation. I love that I don't literally have to be sending messages. Let me tell you, I did that in the beginning, and it was a headache, okay? It was the best thing when I discovered that, oh, I can actually incorporate automations. um and even when I started and I only had one, listing and everything, it was still such a headache to remember, oh my gosh, this person is checking in 3 days, or this person is checking in tomorrow, oh my gosh, I need to send them a message. And then you have guests sending you messages the day before thinking that you forgot about them, saying, hey, I'm about to check in, but you didn't send me a message about the checking in details and stuff like that. Like, I didn't like that. And it's annoying to people in a sense, because they feel like you are not paying attention, right? Or um you're not as you're not communicating as well as they would want you to. And you forget. That's the number one thing. You forget. Can you imagine? Like, I travel so much. Okay. Some of you guys know that I travel sometimes for, you know, work and stuff like that. I, fly all the time. I'm always traveling. I travel for vacation, for leisure. I'm an avid traveler. I can't imagine not having an automated system set up and forgetting, like traveling somewhere to another country and not even realizing, oh my gosh, I didn't send this guest um their code to get into the place, and now they're like outside stuck trying to figure out what's going on. You don't want that, okay? You want top-notch communication. Like one of the biggest feedbacks we get from our guests is that wow, these guests are so good when it comes down to communicating, right? They're so responsive is the word that I'm looking for. And that's what you want with your guests. Like things may go wrong and stuff like that, but if you're responsive and you acknowledge your guests, you will still get those good reviews because, things happen, right? But if you're very responsive, your guests will appreciate that. All right. So you definitely want to set up automations. And for your pricing, did you know that you can set up automations for your pricing? Did you know that? Have you ever gone to online to book a flight, right? And it will say the lowest flight is, let's say, $80, but you go on there and it says, oh, but Saturday the price is for $200 because Saturday is a high peak season, or it's $400 because it's the 4th of July or something. Have you ever noticed that? So there are softwares, pricing tools, softwares that airlines and a lot of other companies, hotel industry, and short-term rental platforms you can use as the host, actually, right? They implement that to automate the pricing because it picks it up. It knows when people are trying to travel. We can't always keep track of that. We can't always remember. Half the time, sometimes I don't even remember when it's a holiday. Let me tell you something. As somebody who travels all the time, for work and stuff like that, I can tell you this, my husband can attest to this. I'm not even kidding, but it's just a thing, right? In my industry, I don't remember I can't really remember the days of the week. Yeah, I can't remember the days of the week, but I can tell you what date it is though. I can tell you that today's the 21st, right? But half the time I can't remember what day of the week it is. And it's always been like that for me, especially when I'm gone for a few days and come, I'm in different time zones. And then it's just crazy. I can't remember the day of the week ever, right? So a lot of times I have to ask my husband, and, you know, anyway, that's a whole nother story, right? But we can't always remember what's going on. We can't remember that, oh, it's a Super Bowl weekend, unless you're really, really into the Super Bowl like that, right? Or we can't remember that, oh, this may be a high peak season, but the system knows that. It knows when a lot of people are traveling, and it increases your price for you or decreases your price so that it's competitive and all of that good stuff. Okay. And like I said, we go a lot into that in the course, you guys. And let me tell you, you need an automation tool because you want to make sure that your pricing is standing out, and you want to make sure that you're optimizing your listing. And I talk about this, right? I'm passionate about optimizing your B&B, right? Because there's no point in having a listing but not having it optimized. Are you making money though? Are you being competitive? Is your pricing competitive though? Okay, those are really, really important things um, to consider. Somebody says, is there a payment plan for, okay, we'll go into that in a second. All right, we'll get right into that, Sarita. Right, so listen, and you may be asking, so for example, right, ask yourself, like, what can an extra $3,000 do for you? Because like really, when you think about it, the average is about $3,000, literally, you guys, or even more. You guys, literally, I'm telling you this right now. My first month when I decided to literally take Airbnb seriously, right, to another level, my price, the first month I made like almost $5,000. I think it was like 4,600 or something like that. I think I did a video about that some time ago. That was literally my first month. Mind blowing. And was I in a big touristy location? Absolutely not. No, I was not. Okay. I was just able to make my listing stand out, right? Which we talk about. We go a lot into depth with that, with the course, how to really make your listing stand out. Okay. So that people are, like, within, as soon as you post your listing, I don't care if your listing is new. A lot of people are going to say or think right now, oh, so how am I going to stand out if there's other people in the area that's already doing it? See, that's another thing. When you're new, believe it or not, your listing is at the top. And you need to shine during those few days of being new. Your listing needs to be shining. Like, I need to stay here. Okay. This is where I need to stay. I don't care about these other listings that have all these reviews. I need to stay at this new listing. Okay. So Airbnb does pretty good with having your listing at the top, but it has to stand out. They give you a chance like the first few days. If people aren't really clicking on it, then, sucks to be you. So that's why we talk about that in the course. I share that in the course, how to make your listing stand out, right? But I'm telling you guys, the first month I made like $4,600. I think I shared some screenshots in another video. And I was like, I'm onto something here. Okay. I'm really onto something here. And so think about what an extra $3,000 can do for you. Can it help you pay off some debt? Okay. Some student loan, help you buy that car that you've been saving for, whatever it is, move into a new place as a down payment for a house. Okay. Yes, you guys. Honestly, I've probably shared this before. My first $3,000 may not sound like a lot to put down on a house, but I'm telling you right now, okay, when I bought my first house, okay, at 23, I was a little baby, doing my little thing. I had some little, nothing really much saved, I'll be honest with you. but one thing I did have some decent credit. And the one thing I did have was this up here, right? And I was like, I got my tax return back, and I'm like, instead of me keep paying on rent, I wasn't really ready to buy. I thought I wasn't ready to buy because I was like, I didn't want a responsibility of buying a house, 23. I'm like, oh, I probably want to get married first, right? And all that stuff. But that was one of the best decisions I made, honestly. And now I'm passionate when it comes to, real estate investing, learning real estate, and we'll get into that. I even teach some of that in the course as well, how you can actually, okay, listen to me, you guys. I teach also how I even share lenders that are ready to lend 100% of the money to you to invest in Airbnb properties. Did you know that? I almost forgot to mention that. Okay, there are hard money lenders out there that are actually ready to lend you 100% of the money to acquire property, right? But you have to do it in your business name though. And see, that's enough. We always go back to the business. We always go back to having that LLC or whatever business entity, okay? They'll only lend to you though if you have a business entity, and they don't go by your personal credit. They just really go by just your business, you having a business, and make sure the deal makes sense. So you can get homes or houses that are like, not in good condition, like distressed homes, and they'll lend you 100% of the money and also lend you 100% of the rehab money to fix it up. Yes, it comes with, extra interest than what the traditional mortgage company does, but it's not a traditional mortgage, which is good because that means you're closing like that in a heartbeat, and you're getting to acquire these properties as if you're paying for them for cash. Let me tell you guys, gems, okay? Like I said before, I talk about that in the course, and I've also shared lenders, or particular lender that is ready to give you 100% of the money. You can do this because for me, I'm also big into being able to acquire real estate. So not only rental arbitrage is good. It's a great way to start this business with property that you don't own, right? With property that you do not own. But it's also good to consider in the future as well. You want to consider how you can actually now use this money to actually invest in properties and own properties, because there's nothing like building wealth, right, with real estate. So back to my story. Yes, the extra $3,000 can serve as a down payment. Okay. When I was 23 and I bought my first house, my down payment was, I don't remember, less than $6,000. Okay. Because FHA loan, FHA, you can, the minimum that you really need for an FHA loan, okay, if you want to start with an actual home, let's say you get a duplex and you decide to, I don't know why I can't think of the name, what they call it, house hack. Yes, house hack, right? You live on one side, Airbnb on the next side. How about that? Okay, you can do that with an FHA loan, okay? Um, FHA loan requires literally 3.5% of the purchase price. 3.5%. So when I was 23, I just took my little, what you call it, tax return. And I was like, I forget this. I can be a little bit spontaneous sometimes. So I was like, look, I'm just gonna take this money and instead of keep continuing to pay rent, I'm gonna use this as a down payment. Okay, and that's what I did. What can an extra $3,000 do for you per month? And that's just the start. That's just with one property. I'm telling you right now, if you can get 2 or 3 of these, you can literally be on your way to, you may not have to show back up at your job, or you still can, if you really like your job. There's some people who just really like what they do, they like their job, and that's fine. You'll be able to continue to make extra money and use your business, your Airbnb money, right, to fund other businesses. So do you have other business ideas? Because I know a lot of us are so creative. We're multifaceted human beings, right? We're very creative and we have all these ideas that we want to do. I'm one of those individuals. I have so many things. My husband probably gets tired of me. Okay. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this next. I get bored easily. Okay. I don't know if it's an ADHD thing or what, but that's just me. Right. So can this money help you fund something else? Right. Ask yourself that question. Okay. Now, time for questions and answers. Okay. If you have, I did see some questions here. Let me see. Some people say a rental property in Georgia. Now I'm thinking of making, what? You have a rental property in Georgia and now think, listen, yes. So think about how much money you're making right now, right? With a rental property. Okay, and to see if, think about the area. So do your research. So everything that I taught you in this webinar, right? So go to Airbnb, go to AirDNA, see how much money you can possibly be getting per night for at least 20 nights, right? 20 nights, 22 nights out of the month. Calculate that. Okay, so that is Gigi Michelle, right? Calculate that. See how much money you get. I can guarantee you right now already that you're probably going to be making more money. I can tell you that already right now, at least half. I mean, twice, not half, but at least twice. You'll probably at least make twice the amount that you're making right now for long-term rental. And long-term rental is fine too, right? But I mean, short-term rental, you make a lot more. So consider it, do your research, see how much more money you'll be making a month if you were to do it as a nightly rate instead of the monthly rate. So definitely consider that. And somebody says, if I own property, can I turn it B&B without, if I own property, can I turn it into a B&B without having an LLC, or do I need the LLC first? No, actually you don't. So here's the thing. As much as I stress having a business, forming a business, which is very important, you want to form an actual business, right? But the truth is, you guys, sometimes we just want to try things out first to see if it works for us, to see if we like it before we really spend the time to form a business, right? So if you already have a property, you can start, okay? You can start, especially if it's empty right now, the sooner the better. Let me tell you something, the summer is coming up. Okay, and if anybody knows anything about traveling and people going places right now, that will be me, that girl. Okay, I'm in the travel industry and I know how, I'm about to be stressed this summer, but I know how how crazy travel can be in the summer. So if it's a better time, if it's never a better time to do it, it's now when we're getting into the summer. Okay, you don't want to miss that summer high, that summer peak. Okay, you want to get in there. Okay, summer is coming up, so that's when you want to get in. But you don't need to stress yourself out about getting an LLC before you do it. But it doesn't take long though. You can literally get an LLC set up and all those things that I mentioned, those 5 steps before, in literally a week. It does not take long and you can get everything all set up. All right. So don't overthink this. I'm telling you, I'm telling you guys, when I started in 2018, not officially, I started with an air mattress. Okay. I started with an air mattress in a spare room. I had no business set up. I just needed, I was, a young girl. I just needed some extra money. Okay. And if it meant putting this spare room on Airbnb with an air mattress, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So don't overthink this. All right. So somebody else says, got here. I heard, thank you for the information. My husband family just got us grandmothers. Oh, my husband's family just got us their grandmother's triplex in Myrtle Beach. Honey, somebody says, let's talk about that. In Myrtle Beach, do you think that's profitable? We are new to this. First of all, I just want to say anywhere is profitable, okay? That is probably not a common opinion, but in my opinion, anywhere is profitable. And talk about a beach. Okay, the summer is coming up. People are gonna book your place, okay? You don't even have to be by the beach. I said that before. It doesn't matter where your B&B is. If you have a nice listing, you have your professional photographer come out. I talk about this in my book and my course, like in depth of what you need to have your listing stand out. But you have some really nice pictures. You throw up there on the title, hey, it's by the beach, whatever makes your listing stand out. I'm telling you, people will book your place. I can't tell you how many people, when I used to live in New Jersey, literally everybody went to Myrtle Beach. I'm just like, what is in Myrtle Beach? I don't even know if I've been there. But I know that I've heard it's beautiful. I don't think I've been there. Surprisingly, I've never been there. I've been everywhere else, but I haven't been to Myrtle Beach. But Myrtle Beach is very popular. So if you have an extra property and it's a triplex, listen, even if you just do long-term rental for one property, if you want that security or for future sake, because some lenders may be funny with short-term rental. It really all depends, and they may want to see like a long lease or something. Even if it means renting one of those units out long term and then the other two units on Airbnb, I'm telling you, literally just the money that you for one of the units, right, for your long-term tenant, that alone will be able to probably pay for your entire triplex possibly, and then the other two units is literally profit for you. How about that? Okay, so no questions asked. Do not sleep on this. All right, Miss Christine Knapp, do not sleep on this. Okay, definitely consider getting that up there on Airbnb. All right. Um, Somebody says, okay, I will enroll in the course. Awesome. I think we're gonna have the course link for you if you feel free to enroll in the course. And how do I get your course? I think we have the link there. So if you guys have any questions, please, please, please share your questions. I want to see the questions. I am here to share. You guys know this. I'm surprised I'm on this webinar so long. This webinar was supposed to be 30, 40 minutes. Who am I fooling? I'm such a talker. Who am I really fooling? Okay, but we're almost done because we're at the question and answer. Okay, I love it. I love when like people tell me, "Oh my gosh, I have this." Like I was flying the other day, right? I tell you guys I travel all the time, and I was talking to somebody, and she was like, she said I was telling her about this, and she said she literally has a house sitting empty right now. It's furnished, it's empty. My heart dropped. Because immediately I'm thinking money, okay? She says she probably goes there every now and then, but it's literally empty, just sitting there. It's not being rented. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, that is money on the table. So if you have an empty property, okay, could you quickly go over how to get funding? Somebody said if I can quickly go over how to get funding. Oh, somebody says, oh, Christine, thank you for the super chat. Christine, you are awesome. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. It's my first time on live, y'all. So I'm new to all of this stuff. Okay. But that's what I'm telling you. Sometimes you just have to start. Okay. I'm new to this live thing, but I'm like, I'm going to go live because I know a lot of you have been asking and I love sharing information. That's one of the reasons why I have a YouTube channel. Okay. Because I love sharing gems. All right. She says not going to be sleep on it. Definitely don't want to be sleep on it. Okay. And you'll be signing up for the course. Awesome. So we have the link right there. And I'm gonna go into some action bonus that right now about if you sign up for the course today. Could you quickly go over to get funding? Okay, how to get funding. Like I said, there should be a link as to how to get there should be a link, the business credit guide. It guides you literally step by step, set up your business, how to set it up, and how to apply for net accounts. Literally in 60 days, you can get your paydex score. Once your paydex score is 80 or above, right? That looks good for business credit. Okay, it's kind of like having a 700 credit score, personal credit, right? And you can literally apply for funding anywhere, but I do have a list of dozens of trade lines that you can actually apply for today, even auto loans, okay? Auto lenders that you can apply for today, right? That doesn't have any personal guarantee. Some do, but the guide actually goes over step by step as to what their requirements are and how you can apply for funding and where to go for funding as well, okay? Somebody said I have missed, may have missed it, but there's a payment plan for the course. Okay, all right, so let me just go to the course. So for those of you who are interested in course, so I know we went over, man, like I said, I was supposed to really go for only like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes, right? But we went over time, almost 2 hours. So I'm going to just wrap up. But, I shared a lot of great information with you guys, right? And I really, really, really do hope that, that you will take this information and you'll execute, you'll take action. You will not have analysis paralysis, but you will go out and you'll actually take action without, like, this information that I share with you guys. I'm telling you right now, like, you may be able to use it, right? And go out and possibly just start somewhere, right? But some of you may decide, you know what, I don't really know how to really do it. Even though I got all this information, I don't know how to do it by myself, right? And you may be looking for a mentor or to be a part of a group, right? Like a mentorship group, a support group, and you want that one-on-one, you want that in-depth, you want that lifetime access to, the information, so that way you can always go back, right? You can always go back and look at it. Or you can, you may decide, hey, let me go to YouTube, because I've done that before when I'm trying to research stuff. Go to YouTube and you try to piece the things together. And I'm telling you, that may take you a lot of time, right? So you may want to work with a mentor, like a professional, so that you just have everything literally in your hands, what you need. But I can tell you this right now, in no business, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's this Airbnb, nobody, no coach, no mentor, nobody, no pastor, no therapist can literally make you do anything. You have to decide that I'm going to take this information that I have learned and I'm going to apply it. I'm going to execute the information, okay? Right? But with our support group, okay, there's accountability. There's a difference. So we give you support and accountability. Now, for this limited time offer, for this action bonus, you're going to be able to get not only lifetime access, right? You're getting lifetime access to the online course, which is phenomenal. Like I said, it goes in depth with, I can't even tell you, you may have thought we went over a lot of things today in this webinar, but the course goes over a lot more in depth that will get you on your way to building a successful business, to have you earning passive income every single month, to get those yeses, those partnerships, to learn how to sign your lease, to have an addendum, to become a superhost, to maintain your superhost status, to automate your business so that you can have flexibility, okay, in the life that you want to live. You want to be with your family while you're running your business, right? My course is very in depth and it teaches you how to do that, right? It teaches you how to make money in this business, okay? So you want to make sure that you're working with somebody, right? A coach or who's your mentor that's going to help you right on this journey to self-sufficiency and just to guide you on your success journey. Okay, so for a limited time right now, if you sign up today while we're on the course or while we're on the webinar, you're gonna get one-on-one coaching or mentorship with me, right? One-on-one calls. So you get about 3 bonus calls. Okay, so in addition to the lifetime access, you'll be able to have one-on-one calls with me. And my students love this. And the reason why they love this is because you don't get that everywhere. You know, there's some courses that you'll do and you basically just do the course and you're on your own after that. Okay, that's not my course. Okay, my course gives you support. You have email support, you have phone support. I have some of my students text me, okay, and all of that. So if you need clarity on stuff, that's what we're here for. Okay, so you have that. And in addition to that, you'll have access to, like I said, the community of like-minded um, uh, group, right? It's a Facebook group that you'll be a part of as well. And you guys, okay, the course, I'm telling you, it's value packed. Okay, the course is value packed, and today you're only getting it for, it's worth about $1,700. Okay, when I did my research and compared with it, what it has and what other people say I should charge for it and blah blah blah, it's too low and all of that, right? That's fine, right? Because the truth is, even though some people may think it's too low, there's other people that may think it's too high, right? And so I believe, not every product is for everybody, and that's fine, right? And that's okay. So my course is for people who are ready to start, right? They know value and they're willing to, take the action and execute, right? That's who my course is for. My course is for people who are ready to start and they know value. So this course is worth over $1,700. Just the one-on-one coaching calls that you get with me alone is worth what the entire course is for, right? And so today you can get the course for only $397. Okay, there should be a link in there. It's $397. You have lifetime access to the course, like I said before, one-on-one calls with me, and unlimited email support and all of that good stuff. Okay, but most importantly, you guys, because I don't like to pinpoint, right, specifically, okay, it has this. The goal of the course is to get you on your way, right, to start making some high figures passively every single month. Okay, so if you have been tired of watching different videos, trying to piece it together, put it together, because I know I've done that in the past with different things, trying to figure things out, it takes time, right? But it's nothing like having just a value packed course all in one place that you can log on to, that you have support with your mentor or mentors, that you have a community of like-minded individuals to support you. There's nothing like having it all in your, in your hands. So if you jump on today, get the course, those are all the things that you'll be getting: lifetime access, one-on-one support, and for only $397. Okay, but listen, I don't like selling that much. As much as it sounds like I like to sell, I don't like selling that much. So I know I have been on here for a very long time. So I'm going to get off of here, but I definitely, of course, I had to share my course with you because I know that some of you want that one-on-one support. You want somebody to kind of, in a sense, hold your hand. I can't literally hold your hand, right? But you want that one-on-one support, that if you need clarity on something, or if you feel like you're not doing things the right way, or if you whatever you need help with, that's what I am here for. Okay, that's what Coach Abiva is here for. So I want you to have access to the course. I want you to have that option outside of this webinar. If you feel like this webinar was not enough for you, right, and you need additional information, whichever, definitely go check out the course. You won't be disappointed. At least I don't think so. I haven't had anybody as yet who has been disappointed in the course as yet, right? So listen, y'all, I hope that after today, right, whether you decide to get the course or not, I strongly suggest getting the course, but whether you decide to get the course or not, I hope that you go out there, you will take action. You'll remember, okay, everything that we talked about. I hope you took your notes. And just remember that it all starts up here. If you tell yourself that the market is oversaturated and you can't get into this business, then that's That's basically the hurdles that you're going to stumble upon. That's what you are going to experience. Okay. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen now so you can see me. Okay. So that's what you're going to experience if you keep telling yourself, oh, I can't do this, or people keep telling me no. Do you know how much people out here, right? How much entrepreneurs, people who are doing it big out here, where they started from, and how many people told them no? Do you know how many no's I've gotten, okay, in life? You will get no's, okay? But you have to remember that, listen, if you're not getting no's, right? Or the more no's, I should say, that you get, it leads you closer to a yes. I learned that when I was 17 and I did sales, okay? Let me tell you, the more no's you get, the more yeses you get, okay? I can tell you that from experience. So I want you to go out there, and I don't care how many no's you get, do not give up. I've had people who say, hey, I've gotten a few no's before. I don't feel like I want to do this. I mean, if you give up, then there's nothing to really achieve here if you just give up, okay? So I don't want to blab too much, but I just want to encourage you that you can do anything. You can do anything. If you feel like the market that you live in right now, where you live is hindering you, go outside, go to another market, okay? And I don't want to say stop flocking to where everybody's going to, but I'm kind of gonna say that, I guess, right? Because if you feel like that market is oversaturated or everybody's flocking there, you don't have to go there. Atlanta is not the only place on this planet. Okay. Atlanta is not the only place in America. Houston is not the only place in America. What about the outskirts of that? What about other like small towns that nobody's going? Places in Arizona. We have booked some interesting, unique places, some parts that I've never even really heard of, but honestly I just booked it because it was either a little bit cheaper and it's close enough to where I want to get to. Okay, so you have to keep in mind that people are willing to drive 15-20 minutes outside of the city. Okay, so don't overthink it, like I said before, and this is what I want to leave with you. Do not overthink it. Number one. Number two, start from somewhere. Start with where you are and with what you have. You have to start from somewhere. Okay. And number three, I want you to go out, take action, and execute. Nothing will happen if you're not executing. Okay. You can absorb all the information that you want. That's what we do. We like to absorb, we like to watch YouTube and all of this. Thank you, by the way, for all of you who are currently watching this live. Okay. Um, but we like to absorb information. But are we actually going out to execute though? So those are some of the things that I want to leave with you today. Okay. I know I can be a talker. I know I've been on this live for a second. Lord help us. But you guys got this. Let me see if there's any other question. Hope this is not a silly question. Are you able to register a business over the weekend? Yes. What you can do over the weekend though, that's a good question. That's not a silly question actually. EIN number. So when you go to apply for your EIN number, your employer identification number at the irs.gov, you can't do it on the weekend. Your EIN number, right? You can't do it on the weekend. You can only do it Monday through Friday, I believe 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you go on there any other time outside of that, it's going to tell you you have to wait. So with your EIN number. However, if you're doing with companies like InkFile, whatever companies, third-party companies online, you can absolutely start the process with that as soon as possible, right? But you just know that you may not get it. If you're doing a whole package, the EIN and all of that, you may not get it back if it's over the weekend, if you're doing an EIN number with that, okay? Somebody else says, also, even without Paydex score, can you go ahead and start getting units that don't require that, right? Yeah, you can absolutely go out and get units that without your paydex score. I mean, I suggest trying to get that as soon as possible, but you have some companies that they just want to make sure that you have your DUNS number at least, right? So you want to get your DUNS number as soon as possible. And some companies aren't necessarily looking at your paydex score, but they just want to see that you have like a DUNS number. And some places do want to see that you have some type of history as well, right? As it relates to leasing with landlords and stuff, they really don't really care about your DUNS number like that, to be honest with you. um, but the apartments usually do. And when you're applying for business credit, you know, like your Sam's Club card and all that, I've talked about that already as well. You want to make sure that you have your DUNS number, and you want to get that paydex score, that 80 paydex score as soon as possible. Somebody says, thank you, I need this course. Absolutely. I mean, like I said before, my course is for people who are ready to start. If you're really ready to make money, it's the summertime. I'm not even kidding you guys. Like, it's literally the summertime right now, and people are traveling like crazy. Okay. Um, people just want to be out. People are trying to just be out. Okay, people don't have time to be in their house no more. Okay. People are quitting their jobs. I said this before, but if you're just joining, I don't know if you've heard the news, but millions of Americans quit their job last year, and thousands of people this year are continuing to quit their jobs. Okay, people are tired of working the 9 to 5 life, and nothing is wrong with the 9 to 5 life. Okay, the 9 to 5 life may be for some people, right? And for some, it may just not be for some people, and that's fine, right? To each their own. Okay, right? So people are quitting their jobs. They want to travel. So now is like literally the best time to jump onto this type of business. And somebody else says, Felix score, can you go ahead and start? Okay, thank you. And I just purchased your items. Okay, awesome. You go, Miss Spades. You are really appreciated so much for this information. You are very welcome. It's my pleasure. Oh, hey, lady. Deshawn, I think you booked a call with me this coming Monday, I think it is, right? I got you. I got you on the calendar. I remember the name. I pay attention to details. It takes 30 days for Dunn's number, which I'm waiting on now. I'm surprised that it's taking that long. I guess it really depends maybe on the business or something, because it shouldn't take 30 days. And sometimes they may say it may take up to 30 days, but it really doesn't. Because I know for us, it took like maybe for that business in particular, it took about 7 days or so or less. So it really all depends, honestly, but that's not usually the case for every business. So if you're on here, I hope that you know that that may not be the case for every business. Okay, it shouldn't take 30 days for every business. That's not the standard. Okay, well, thank you. I am done. Okay, if there's any questions after this, I'll try to go back and answer. But listen, y'all, thank you for joining. Thank you for being a part of this live. I hope that I shared a lot of value with you today. Okay, I'm surprised I'm on here this long, but I'm going to go. Like I said, go out there, take action. And if you're looking for one-on-one support, okay, if you're looking to truly make some money in this business, and to get in depth training on how you can really do this, definitely go check out the course that's in the link. Okay, and I'll see you over there. Listen, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comment below. All right, and I will get back to that. All right, y'all. Again, it's your girl Shy Bivia. It was an absolute pleasure. Let's continue to grow those businesses together and get financially healthy together. And I'll see you guys later. Be blessed. Bye.